And that's all we have on the Nigerian Tribune. Moving on with the newspaper review. We'll be back after this commercial break. Stay with us.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supermalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Supermalt has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. One Supermalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
Thank you very much for staying with us. Yes, moving on with the newspaper review. And on Vanguard, on the front page of Vanguard this morning, we have stories on page 11, 10 trillion naira investment in 13 years fail to lift power supply. The writer says, we are resetting the sector, and that's coming from Power Minister. Federal government GenCos disagree over 6.2 trillion naira debt. More bonds in issuance on the way. Subsidy claims padded, consumers allege. On page 8, Dangote, Sinoma signed $800 million MOU to expand Itori cement plant capacity. NICOM completes capitalization, clears 43 insurers. And that story is on page 14. And on page 8, presidency slams Atiku over criticism of federal government economic policies. And that story is on page 8. More stories on page 5. On Oyekon, Northern Christians, Senator Sani others defend Catholic bishops. Catholic priests not like fake bishops. That's coming from Atiku. Flares presidency's attack on Oyekon. They speak truth to power. And that's coming from Senator Shehu Sani. Osun poll, plot to arrest 46 Accord leaders uncovered. And that's coming from Adeleke Campaign Council. Civil servants to finance minister, pay us or face our wrath. And that's on page 9. 6 soldiers killed, father, sons burnt alive as terrorists attack Zamfara, Sokoto communities. And that story is on page 9. And that's all we have on the front page of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Moving on to some of the inside stories for more stories. On page 5, on Oyekon, Northern Christians, Atiku Senator Shehu Sani defend Catholic bishops. More stories on the back page. CPP expresses worry over real sector financing gap of over 50 trillion naira. First Bank empowers women entrepreneurs with Maiden Spark Agem challenge. And on the back page, on page 36, Diri mourns Professor Ison, says Nigeria lost visionary scientist. 2027, Edo APC chieftain rally support for Pebolo Tinubu. Badagry residents protest poor power supply and estimated billing. And on the back page, where we have some sports stories, page 38, 2026 WAFCON, CAF bans 2 Super Falcon stars. Alozie quizzed for routine random anti-doping tests. Super Falcons promise goals versus Egypt. Waffle B on the 20, Burkina Faso 2-0 to Nigeria. Young Stallions end Flying Eagles winning run. Spurs get green light to begin Osimhen transfer talks. Glasgow 2026, Nigeria's greatest Commonwealth Games campaign, says performance director. FIFA celebrates Nigeria's finest, Oshwala. And lastly, we have Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games. Nigeria finishes 7th. It's Nigeria's greatest campaign, and that's coming from the performance director. And that's all we have on Vanguard newspaper this morning. Yes, we will be moving to take the weather report, and after which we'll return for interview segments. Stay with us.
ask? Eh? I would have been happy to tell you my secret.
Enjoy instant goodness with John Vent's 3-in-1 chocolate. The quickest start to your morning.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
And the best student in basic digital literacy is Jadin.
Very good.
And the best student in kinesthetics is Jamil Lawal. The best student in robotics is Tiara Kolawole. This award goes to the most punctual student of the entire school. And the winner is Lisa Solomon.
Something is telling me that she makes her daughter skip breakfast just to be here. You people could have just asked. I would have been happy to tell you my secret.
Enjoy instant goodness with John Vent's 3-in-1 chocolate. The quickest start to your morning.
Excuse me, ma. This is your 100% here.
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair?
Since your landlord just increased rent, I saved for this one separately on money points.
Ma, you say you save on money points?
Yes.
This madam money points here, the array of hair dryer there is target savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is fees savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact, son.
Jennifer, money point save as you transact. Money point fixed savings and money point target savings.
What happened? Why did I tell you contribute to it. Where she dey? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Adaku to save. You see money points accounts there. You no go open a savings account. Now Adaku you choose. I beg everybody inside this my saloon. Oh, yeah, bring out your phone and download the money points hack now. Even you. What are you waiting for? Download the money points hack now. Adaku, wow, open money points account.
Money Point, made for your progress.
Thank you very much for staying with us. This morning, we will be talking politics, and of course, we're heading straight to Osun State, looking at all that has been happening in the past few weeks in Osun State, talking of the violence, a lot of issues, and that's what we will be unfolding this morning, talking about Osun Guba, pre-election violence and peace deal. Before introducing our guest, the countdown to the 15 August 2026 Osun State governorship election has been marked by growing political tension, allegations of intimidation, arrest of political actors, and concerns over possible electoral violence. The election is expected to be one of Nigeria's most closely watched off-cycle governorship polls, with incumbent Governor Ademola Adeleke of the Accord Party seeking re-election against major opposition candidates, especially the APC's Bola Oyebamiji. To do justice for today's conversation this morning, we have a legal luminary. He is Mr. Musibao Ajetumbi, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam. How are you, ma'am?
Fine, thank you. How are you also?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Looking at the incident that has been happening in Osun State, and of course, there's been a lot of allegations. But before we talk of these allegations, and of course, what led to so much violence we've been seeing in Osun, I just want you to give us your assessment of the current political tussle in Osun State.
Well, first and foremost, I am a candidate to Accord Party, one of the major political parties trying to contest in fight for this post in Osun. I'm a candidate to the Accord Party in some of their cases. So I think I hold a duty to disclose that. You see, what is happening in Osun is a reflection of what our country is and who we are in our country. There is over-desperation, and there is failure of state apparatus to act. Before we say, is it party A or party B, the fundamental of the law enforcement agent is to maintain law and order. And on no condition should they claim that non-state actors overpower them. Now, when you look at some of the things in Osun State, like the killing of that 14-year-old boy, it was on tape, for God's sake. The open shooting by a convoy of vehicles marked with one of the gubernatorial candidate campaign officer. Even the killing of the boy, they came to that place with a marked vehicle.
All right, we have to come back to this conversation because it's getting really interesting. We have a commercial break, and when we return, you have to continue on that thought. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. we still have Mr. Musiba Ajetumbi, a senior advocate of Nigeria, in the studio with us. He's been giving us his own personal assessment of the incidents, especially in terms of politics now in Osun State. Kindly go ahead, sir.
Yes, what I'm trying to tell you is that most of this shooting, the kidnapping of a man in Elisha, where the guy was shouting and they came with a marked vehicle, one of the candidates. You see the over desperation we have always getting problem with party in power at the federal level. We are having it with APC now. We had it with PDP. Remember that when Governor Aregbesola was the governor, and he was contesting against a PDP gubernatorial candidate, and then PDP was in power. So many things were done to get him out of the road. It's just like the way the current APC government too is doing everything to get the incumbent out of the power.
So this is not a new experience.
It's not a new experience. But we will not have a country until we appreciate the fact that we need to be balanced. Until we know that we must be fair to all parties. The way it is today, you have a situation where they are reporting allegations to the Commissioner of Police. The man was not acting. And the last one, which he disgraced himself, you said you arrested a man with 4.8 million naira. And you caught that one and took a card, 2 voters' card, and you caught that one foot by. That clearly shows your mission. So, the problem we have is that in this country, any party in power would like to breathe, but they will not want others to breathe. What will happen is that you are going to have chaos. You are going to have anarchy. And that is what is happening in Osun.
But with the interference with the alleged intimidation and violence by the opposition party, now, are we saying it's the federal might is also involved? Is it from the federal, or the state actors are just acting on their own?
Well, why one we want to say is about the federal might is that while all these things are happening, the police are looking at the other way. I remember the IGP came, he spoke. Eventually, they removed this commissioner. But
it's still the commissioner. He's still there.
No, he's not there.
He's still there. He was just given another role. So he says the Nigerian Police Force deployed CP Samuel Erale Taifu as the specific commissioner of police in charge of election security for Osun State ahead of the election, while the substantive state commissioner, CP Ibrahim Gotan, remains in charge of routine and non-election command operations. So it feels like now you have 2 commissioners of police in Osun State. One is in charge. Yes, we've never heard of that, but one is in charge of election now, and the other one, who people alleged was in charge of the violence or fueled the violence, is still the commissioner of police, but in charge of routine operations in talking of security in Osun State.
That's what I'm telling you. We've never had it. The experience is that they will take the commissioner away and they will replace him. The commissioner that is going to supervise the election will still be the one that will man the state. We've been in this country for quite a long time. But this time around, I don't know, it appears that the party in power, the APC, or the accord is alleging there's the handwork of the current minister, former governor, Oyetola. So, but it appears that everything has been done. Because everything that is happening in Osun, it has never happened up of that magnitude. Even under Aregbesola.
But you just said, yes, under Aregbesola, you experienced the same thing in Osun State.
Under Aregbesola, it was not of this magnitude. Remember the Oga incident under Aregbesola? But it was not of this magnitude. Now, it appears that even the governor is not being allowed to breathe at all.
For someone who has been on ground, who is also a little involved, kindly let us have an understanding of what exactly is going on. What are those factors fueling this violence in Osun State?
There's nothing. It's struggling for power. The current APC is unbent, whether without ballot. You know the normal thing. That's the problem of our country. Let the people vote peacefully. Then let the result count. But it appears to them that they are going to lose. So, and they are not ready to take a no for an answer. It is a country where we do deceive ourselves. What I mean by we do deceive ourselves, things that we know that are right, we will leave it. Like what you just told me now. I even thought that if we even remove the commissioner. But how can you have two commissioners of police in a state? That is practically something else. And yet, in also you have two commissioners. Even under Aregbesola, we didn't have two commissioners. That one, the serving one was moved, another one was brought in line with the tradition. But contrary to tradition now, you now have two commissioners on ground. That tells you the kind of the game being played by the ruling party, the ruling federal party, and the desperation of the ruling federal party. And the implication of that is that they are the political parties, particularly the party at the center, is the one fueling the crisis.
Now, when we have crisis like this, and it has to do with politics, which sometimes can be very, very delicate, especially for some parties involved, how should the law take its place? Can the law independently intervene in crises like this?
Remember that law does not talk. Law does not say. Law talks through man. Law says through man. So, where you have people in charge of the law, if they have been captured by the party in power, then you cannot have a peaceful country. That's exactly what is happening now. Because the people that are supposed to be neutral, the people who are supposed to implement the law the way it ought to be. I give you an example. It's on social media, where a convoy of FECO marked by APC, the pictures of they were passing through Osogbo and they were shooting. So that means that you have banditry in the forest, you have banditry in the main town, and the police were unable to arrest those people. They were unable to arrest it. The moment you don't have consequences, then the atrocities are going to continue. I told you of the story of a 14-year-old boy that was killed, although I learned some people were later arrested. But that was not even until the IGP came. They are claiming not to be able to arrest those people. So until the IGP came, that was when some people they were later arrested. And even the people that some people were charged to court, I've not even seen, they were not even, I think they're trying to serve them, they couldn't get them. So the state apparatus that ought to work for the maintenance of peace seems to have withdrawn. It's not working for the maintenance of peace, but it's working in favor of one of the political parties. And in that kind of situation, you cannot have peace.
When we have law enforcement agencies, authorities, personnel, individuals who are supposed to work for peace, like you used, who are supposed to make sure everything is in order.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they've been alleged that they are the ones fueling violence. Now, in such situation, what can be done? And also, we are seeing, like you mentioned, there was supposed to be a replacement, but we are seeing an addition. He's been assigned to other responsibilities, and another commissioner of police was told to take over election duties. Now, when we have issues like this, is the law fair?
You see, there's no way the law is not going to be fair. The law is fair, but we are the ones that are not fair to ourselves. You see, when we're dealing with jurisprudence in the university years, there's a doctrine that they told us that it is good, it is better to have bad law and good judges than to have good law and bad judges. It's part of the jurisprudence something. That where you have bad law but you have good judges, they will know how to maneuver and turn bad law into good law. But where you have bad judges and you have good law, these bad judges will turn good law into bad law.
So what do we have in Nigeria?
So, are you talking of, what we have is that we are all unfair to ourselves. The police are not doing their duties the way it ought to be done. All the apparatus of the state, you have, just if not for the court of appeal, how many parties were registered? Just in the midst of election. What kind of desperation? Breathe and allow other people to breathe. I did, just like I said, I made mention of Aregbesola. When PDP was in power, they too did something of this nature. But APC has now been a grandmaster. APC is telling them now that we know how to do it better. Then you were just playing. Your own was a child play. Our own, we know how better to do it. And that is what is happening now, whether at the federal level or at the state level. I read something I listened to something when you were trying to gather all the opposition together. But you know that this current government is giving every opposition political party, its own share of problem. You see that? Do you know how many cases are against all this opposition?
So are you saying the current administration is solely fueling discord among political parties in Nigeria?
My dear sister, there cannot be crisis. There cannot be this kind of thing if the government is fair.
All right, we'll have to return back to this conversation after this commercial break. We'll be right back.
Win big in the Milo Text and Win promo. Yes, 6 brand new cars, along with billions in airtime and cash prizes are up for grabs. Just buy any 20-gram Milo promo sachet, find a unique code inside, then dial *8011*4#. Or scan the QR code on the pack for a chance to win big. Buy more, win more. Promo starts July 1st to October. Milo. Milo.
We're still having conversations around the Oshun-Guba, pre-election violence, and of course the peace deal. But before we talk about the peace deal, before we went on that commercial break, San, we were talking about the current administration.
Look, the current administration, initially when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was contesting, we believed that because we used to take him to be a Democrat. But it's not that for me, I'm realizing that he's not a Democrat.
He's what?
He's not. I will call him more of a dictator. But his own, he knows how to play the game very well. He knows how to play the game very well. He's somebody that I would say is very intelligent. He could have diverted that intelligence to the positive aspect of the country, but he's diverting it to the negative aspect of the country. You see, in this country, the police cannot work except the president wanted to work. The military cannot work except the president wanted to work. So, all the apparatus of the state, even the Independent National Electoral Commission, to a great extent, there is the way whoever is in power has its way of influencing them.
So even with Amokwito saying that INEC is independent, INEC will not have foreign interference, are you saying it might not be solely true?
My dear sister, it's not true. From experience, it is not true. It's not true. When they tell you all these things, it's not true. Remember that even in this Osun, the sitting electoral commissioner was taken away and somebody else, and when they wanted to bring somebody, they brought somebody from Ondo State where the people shouted that she was a member of APC. It was a tug of war then when they wanted to conduct the election by the opposition. If we are bringing somebody, why bringing that kind of person that had gone through the process of saying this person was a member of this or member of that? Why not bringing somebody else again if it's not about desperation? Look, when you talk about independence, remember that there are human beings that will operate these things. And most of these human beings are firmly under the control of Mr. President. And most of them will do whatever Mr. President wants them to do.
All right, let's look at the peace deal that was signed last week, Thursday. Candidates of political parties contesting the Osun governorship election signed a peace accord organized by the National Peace Committee, NPC, to ensure a non-violent poll in the state. Now, when we talk about, and unfortunately, there were supposed to be, I think 15 should have signed, but 14 signed.
Yes.
I think the APC candidates came after the peace deal was done.
Yes.
That was the report we got. Now, when we have peace deals like this happening, this is not the first time we'll be having, talking about peace deal, signing of peace deal, especially to prevent election violence. A lot of, like you mentioned, a lot of people have been killed.
Even after the
have
peace
been
deal.
involved in this rancor.
Even after
the peace deal.
People were killed.
But we still talk about, can peace deal really sort election violence in Nigeria? Is that the way to go?
You see, if we have a normal country, you don't need any peace deal. Because the law is going to be effective. And where the law is going to be effective, the law will ensure peace. You violate something, you are arrested. But you know the problem with Nigeria? There's a Yoruba adage. You put it in English language. You don't wake up a man who is pretending to be sleeping. This country is pretending to be sleeping. We will get it right the day we all say, oh, enough is enough. We are ready to wake up. And we have a leader that is going to lead us into that direction. We all know that with or without peace deal, the only person in this country who had allowed peace deal to work effectively was President Goodluck Jonathan. He said it, that his ambition did not worth the blood of a Nigerian, and he stood by it, he maintained it. If President Goodluck Jonathan had done 50% of what the current government is doing, honestly, the man would have been in that place. You can end up in war or whatever, but the man will have remained as president. If he had done just 50% of what this current government is doing, the man will have won the man will have won the election. So when you talk of peace deal, there is no law. They are not acting on any law. They are just coming together as a group of people that they are appealing. It's about moral suasion. And that is not the law. The law is about coercive nature of the state. You must not do this. If you do this, you are in trouble. You see people shooting, firing. I said a 14-year-old boy. That boy was not a voter, for God's sake. Forget about which party that person belonged to. Go and pick the people that you saw. How would the state not be able to trace them? Charge them to court. Let the trial commence immediately. But this is a country where, and that is why banditry is thriving. That is why violence is thriving. There are no consequences. The protection is about the might. Who has the power? It is about oppression. It's not about fairness. And as long as we continue to have that, we will not have peace.
But looking at the peace deal, the signing, the agreement, all parties coming together to say, you know what, we just want to have a free and fair election. Now, so far, since the deal was signed on Thursday, now, given your own personal judgment and assessment, has the tension been doused?
The tension has not been doused. Even after the signing of the peace deal, they've still gone to kill people. It's not that those people were killed at the middle of the night. If a state is helpless when innocent people are being killed, or when people are being killed illegally, even if you allege something against them, you have to allow the process of law to pick them up and they try them and convict them.
So are you saying the state governor currently is helpless?
Every state governor in Nigeria is helpless in the hands of federal government. He is helpless as he is now. Every state government is helpless. You are in this state, when they kidnap people in Orire, when the federal people came, did they see the governor? No. Did they go to his office? Did they? They came to he said he's governing the state, but they came and it's like taking over the state from him. Which protocol did they follow? So, those state government control the state, the coercive apparatus of the state. And that is the real power. The real power of a president lies in being the commander-in-chief and the ability to command. So, and the moment you are not being fair, but when you have a very strong system, if you compare what is happening with us with what is happening in America, that man too is misbehaving. But the system has been able to stand up to him there. But here, you do not have any system that is going to stand up to anybody. You can remove the IGP at will. You can remove the chief of army staff at will. Put another one. You can remove the DG of DSS at will. Put another one. And those are people that will direct people that will carry gun. These are the people that will operate the official apparatus of the state. The way and manner the APC government removed CJN Onege had weakened the independence of the judiciary. The way and manner Onege was removed. Onege was removed with an unsigned motion on notice. Ex parte order.
Which was not supposed to be.
Which was not supposed to be. The Constitution said before you remove him, go to National Assembly. Get 2/3 of National Assembly members. Did anybody go to National Assembly? What did the man do? So every CGN will be afraid. I'm only sitting here. They have the capacity to remove this year any moment. Anytime they decide, they have the capacity to do it. So how do you have peace?
Now, how do we now begin to talk about when federal might is using power, should I say unlawfully now?
Yes, of course,
ways
unlawfully.
That they
in
should
the way
not
to be
use.
used.
Now, who are those that should stand against these acts by the federal power, federal might?
And you see, ordinarily, every citizen of the country supposed to be the one that will stand. But my country, your country, our country is not like that. Because the people that wanted to do this thing, what they first did was to first ensure that they put the majority of us in poverty. A hungry man cannot think. He cannot reason. At times, people complain about some people selling their food for 5,000 naira. But the man is helpless. He cannot even think. You see, you have so many working corpses. You have so many people, they are helpless. Some people are crying. Their son or the children are in the hospital. They are looking for maybe just 5,000 naira. They are looking for just... You don't have every amenities of the state. So everybody is struggling to look for a little money to eat. So you don't even have the time to think. But the way out is that we are likely going to get into anarchy. The way we are moving, we are close to anarchy. You know some states that you cannot walk freely now, today. You cannot walk freely in Zamfara. You and I know that. You cannot walk freely in Sokoto. You and I know that. And we are praying. Because we never thought, we never think that it will be possible. We didn't think so, that it will be possible. Go to a village in Oyo State and carry how many children? And they will be in the bush for 56. In the bush in our state for 56 days or so. Did you ever think of that? So we are getting to a place that everybody may not be able to breathe. You are in a country where a retired general was seriously flogged, helpless, and he was killed. Even his own people, his own class, his own community became helpless.
And now, that's to talk about the issue of the law. And I'm still going to refer this to the peace deal that was signed in Osun State.
Yes.
When people say they do not have confidence in the current law enforcement agency in the state, and of course, the commissioner of police, where does this leave the old peace deal signing? How do they implement it? How do we make sure that the peace deal is effective when the people do not even have confidence in the law enforcement agencies?
You know, in the Senate client, what happened on the day of that peace deal? What happened to that commissioner? We all saw it. Where they were booing him would have been enough for the man to resign, or for the relevant authorities to say, take him away. But the IGP is not the one dictating who to post and who not to post. It's the political party in power. The IGP cannot exercise his authority.
But ordinarily, the IGP should have been able to use his
office and discretion.
It's
not under control. It's not expected to be under the control of anybody. It's expected to be fair.
To be independent.
To be independent. But the IGP is not. The IGP is not.
So you're alleging now that the IGP is also under the federal might taking authority.
In Nigeria, all these appointees are under the federal might. I just told you, a sitting CJN, the law says before you remove him, you should go to National Assembly and have 2/3 majority of the National Assembly. Was he removed with 2/3 majority of National Assembly? A sitting CJN. If you could do that to a sitting CJN, how about IGP that the law has never even said take him to National Assembly? It's just at the instance of Mr. President. And you know there's an habit in this country. When you remove an IGP, you will not use the DIG, you will not even use the AIG. You may even come to number 17. We've witnessed it under Buhari, we witnessed it under Tinubu. So it's not even the appointment. It's at the absolute discretion of Mr. President. We don't follow the laid down procedures. How do you look at the number of DIG that we retired? We trained them. So why did we retire them? Why should President Tinubu not have confidence in number 2? He should be able to tell us. Or the number 3 or number 4. Even if we had to remove number 1.
Could age also be a factor?
How old was this current IGP when he was appointed? He was close to his retirement. Check your research. The current IGP was close to retirement before he was appointed. The immediate past one was close to his retirement. There was even, some people even went to court
to contest it.
To contest it. But the moment you are appointed under the Police Act and whatever, but normal retirement, they were both close to retirement. So what are we talking about?
When we have the APC candidates not arriving during the peace deal and arriving afterwards, now, does this, all clauses in the peace deal, does it exclude that candidate?
Number one, the peace deal agreement is a moral suasion. It's just persuasive. Whether you sign it or you don't sign it, it's not binding. Because who is going to enforce it? No, tell me who will enforce the peace deal. The peace deal is supposed to be enforced by the state, by the state apparatus, the coercive power of the state. So, if we are now have to come together, have you seen at times in most of these countries? In most of these countries, you don't even that in these Senate climes in these advanced countries, you don't even know when they wanted to conduct their election. Recently, the Prime Minister of UK resigned now. Yes, he resigned now, and another person was nominated. Why? Because of criticism.
All right, Mr. Musiba, Mr. Ajetunmobi, I'm sorry, please. Yes, Mr. Musiba Ajetunmobi. We have Mr. Rotimi Adeyenuwo, the chairman, Ife Central Local Government, and a legal practitioner joining us from Ile-Ife, Osun State on this conversation. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Adeyenuwo. Good morning, ma'am. Yes, sir. It's good to have you on the program this morning. We've been having conversation with Mr. Musiba Adetunbi also. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria, and he's also one of the legal counsels to the Accord Party in Osun State. Looking at everything that is happening in Osun State currently, the political tussle, the violence, and of course the peace deal we saw happened last week Thursday. What's your own personal assessment of the current issue in Osun State? And so far, what is currently on ground? What are the people saying? What are you fighting against in Osun State? And there's been a lot of allegations. But before we go to the allegations, please tell us your assessment.
Well, my assessment about what is happening in Osun State.
Yes, please.
So critical because APC, the government at the federal level is causing problem in Osun State. Causing the problem in the sense that if you want to do any election, at least it needs to be conducted in a very free and fair atmosphere. But in the situation where the government in power at the federal level is using all the instruments of government like police and others to cause chaos in the state, it is very bad.
When you say okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes. So it is APC that is causing problem here. Our governor is a peace-loving person who told the local government chairman when they conducted the election and they won, the PDP chairman that time. So after swearing for the chairman, he told them, he directed them to stay at home because he foresee what will happen, that they are going to trouble the local government. And the following day, which is Monday, 24, all the APC yes or no chairmen just flooded the council, illegal occupation of the council, and they were claiming that they had the authentic chairman. Now, if we want to prove the fact that some people have been elected, if the chairman go to the council, there will be chaos. But the elected chairman, the duly elected chairman, stayed at home. And ever since February 24, even regardless of court pronouncements on the illegality of those yes or no council chairmen to be at the council, they are still there. The PDP chairmen are still at home working in various capacities at home, at least to sustain the government.
Can we have local government chairmen sit at home and work from home? Is that allowed?
Yes. So, up till now, even despite the fact that the Federal High Court said the yes or no local government chairmen are not authentic chairmen, they filed, I'm very happy that our son is there, they filed stay of execution at the court. The court refused them. What a good government should do is to ask them to leave. If you want to appeal, they should appeal from outside. But as I'm talking to you now, they are still there. And what is even the worst scenario now is that they are using police to terrorize, to intimidate us. And the reason being that they want to instill fear in the voters. And let me tell you one thing, Governor Ademola Adeleke has performed so wonderfully well in Osun State that no amount of intimidation can dissuade people of the state not to vote for him.
All right.
Osun State is a well-organized state, well-organized. At least we have about 10 or 12 cities in Osun State. Is the presence of the present government, led by Aswaju Ademola Jackson Adeleke, is felt in almost all the cities, even the rural areas. When we talk about road infrastructure, health, education, and many other things. So people are preparing to hold that election. Either they intimidate the people or not, people are coming out to vote for that governor.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Adeyenuwo. Talking about, you've made a lot of allegations here this morning. You allege that the APC is the one fueling the violence in Osun State. You also talked about intimidation of the electorate, intimidation of the governor, and saying the governor is bullied, intimidated, and helpless. But looking at you currently as a PDP member, supporting the governor who is an Accord member, does this not also mean that you're working against your party in Osun State?
It is not so. It is not so. At the time governor left PDP to go to Accord, there was no platform for him to contest. There was no platform because there was a intra-party crisis from the national, the local government.
In PDP, you mean? In PDP?
Yes, in PDP. So the best option for him is to look for another political platform to contest. And in this exercise, time is of essence. Once you miss the time stipulated by the INEC, it means you cannot contest again. So that is why he went to Accord, and he left with all the serving House of Assembly members, all the honorables at the Federal House of Representatives and one senator, because they also want to contest re-election. So, but for the party, it's for the local government chairman that have the mandate. We are intact. If you go to website of PDP, you will see our name there. We are registered. We are bona fide members of PDP. Since PDP is not having a candidate in Osun, and we have to at least support one person. The only person we can give our support to, is Governor Ademola Adeleke, who left our party because of intra-party crisis. He is the only person that we can support, and that's why we are supporting him. It's not anti-party activity at all.
All right.
Once we don't have any candidates contesting the governorship in Osun.
All right, Mr. Adeyenuwo, talking about
we cannot support APC or any other party's candidates.
Okay.
So the best thing is to support our former boss.
Okay.
Who is present governor.
Okay, talking about the no vote of confidence on the security apparatus in Osun State. We also saw what happened with the Commissioner of Police in Osun State and how he was replaced with giving other responsibilities, and another Commissioner of Police taking over from him to oversee the electoral duties in Osun State. Now, what's that to say about the violence that we've been seeing in Osun State, and of course the no vote of confidence on the security apparatus?
Well, I can say from what you have painted now that I would like to say I commend the effort of the IG. Because the essence of democracy is when people are raising issues, when people are agitating that this thing is not good, the best thing is for the person at the aim of affairs to listen and then effect necessary changes. So I commend the IG, Inspector General of Police, who has removed the man in question. As a police officer, the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gotham, ought to be a fair person who will not side any, but she will not side any party. He should have provided a level playing ground for all political parties to operate. But in a situation where he directs his subordinates to go and be accompanying APC to hijack all the motor parks on the pretext that it is the function of the local government. If you are saying motor parks is constitutionally the function of the local government to operate, who are the local governments? The people that seized the power at that level now, they are not recognized according to law, the local government chairman. Understand? So once the IG has removed him and has replaced him with somebody from national headquarters, the IG, Inspector General of Police, has done well.
So are you saying with the new Commissioner of Police?
I will already advise the replacement. That is the new Commissioner of Police who will supervise the election, at least to be fair to everybody.
But so far, what's the situation like in Osun State currently? I'm talking now, referring also to the peace deal that was signed last week, Thursday, and the current situation in Osun State. Is there a difference? Can we say a difference as the violence being doused?
Well, since the removal of that Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gota, there's the level of violence has subsided a little bit. Understand? The new man that is there will not, because they send the man to this place to come and restore sanity into the polity, so that there won't be bloodshed or crisis here and there. So for about 3 or 4 days now, everything seems to be calm. But the second one you are now raising about peace.
The peace deal that was signed, yes.
Yes, it is well established tradition that when elections are coming, either federal, state, or local government election, the peace people, renowned people that are in that peace committee, they will go to the affected or the concerned state or at the federal level, wherein the commission, if it's a state level, the governorship candidates of all the political parties and their parties will come. They will talk to them on how to embrace peace, and then they will sign a accord that before the election, during the election, and after the election, there won't be any trouble.
But has that worked?
Yes, but in this one, our person, the man we are supporting, well, the present governor, went to that meeting. Governorship candidate of APC did not go. He sent his deputy to go and represent him. That is disrespect to Nigeria and to the whole of Nigeria.
But was it recognized? But even if he sent his deputy, was it still recognized that the party was present during the signing?
Well, Yoruba say, for the simple fact that he feel big to come and attend that peace accord. Understand, people we have different opinion about him.
All right, Mr. Adeyenu, before we let you go this morning,
governor or not, it is not proper.
All right,
it is not proper. Okay. If the whole Nigeria could send peace accord committee to a state to maintain peace, and then you are now saying I don't know the reason it could have.
But what do you think? What do you think the reason might have been?
I don't know. That is personal to him.
All right. Before we let you go this morning, let's look at the electorate. What's the reaction of the electorate? What's the reaction of the people of Osun State as we are? It's 12 days now to the election. What are the people saying? What's their reaction?
The people are eager. The people are ready to go for that election. Either they intimidate their opponents or not. People who are not partisan, our people generally, the electorate generally, they are willing to come out. In fact, I'm seeing this for the first time in the history of Nigeria. Even that of Abiola something is not up to this. People are ready to vote. Let them continue to intimidate. Let them continue to arrest.
All right. All right. Thank you. Yes.
People are coming out, and people will make sure that they safeguard their votes.
All right. As we watch keenly what would happen on the 15th of August, Mr. Adeyenu, we really hope it's going to be a free, fair, and credible election. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Rotimi Adeyenu. He is the chairman, Ife Central Local Government, and a legal practitioner. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your input.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Moderator.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Mr. Musiba, we are seeing what the local government chairman said. But before we go into that, we have a commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Excuse me, ma. This is your 100% human hair.
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair?
Since your landlord just increased rents, I saved for this one separately on money points.
Ma, you say you save on money points?
Yes.
This madam money points here, the array of your dryer is target savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is fees savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact, son.
Jennifer, money point save as you transact. Money point fixed savings and money point target savings.
Why did German won't contribute to it? Why should they? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Hadaku to save. You see money point accounts there. You don't go open a savings account. Now Hadaku you shoot. I beg everybody inside this my saloon. Oh, yeah, bring out your phone and download the money points app now. Even you. What are you waiting for?
Download the Money Point banking app now and start saving with the bank you can trust.
Money Point, made for your progress.
Win big in the Milo Text and Win promo. Yes, 6 brand new cars, along with billions in airtime and cash prizes are up for grabs. Just buy any 20-gram Milo promo sachet, find a unique code inside, then dial *8011 *4#. Or scan the QR code on the pack for a chance to win big. Buy more, win more. Promo starts July 1st to October. Milo.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us. Mr. Ajetunbi, we heard everything Mr. Adeyenu said from Ife, and of course, not entirely different from everything you've said. But I want us to look at the electorate now. Where does all this violence, intimidation, and the use of force from the federal, where does it leave the electorate?
Well, I think I agree with that man that the electorate in Osun, from all the look of things, they are determined. They are determined to cast their vote. They are very determined. Whether the required state apparatus will now allow it to work or not is what I don't know. It's a different thing for those people to cast their election, to stay by it. It's a different thing for you to, because in a situation where there is no peace and other, anybody can just pick a gun and you can start shooting, even when you vote. I will pray there will not be hijacking, there will not be all those kind of things. We just have to see that, because you already have a bias law enforcement agent, particularly the Commissioner of Police, and which, according to you...
Now, is it from the Commissioner of Police alone, or from the IGP now, or maybe from the current administration, like you
mentioned? The major thing is from the current administration. It's about the political... Looking at that IGP and looking at his trajectory, it's a man that is fair. So, but the moment you are working with politicians, you just have to keep on praying. Because at times, the problem in Nigeria is this desperation for power. And it's simply because people are not really using power for the betterment of the common man. They are using it for their own personal interest, primarily. They are using it for their personal interest.
We see a lot of arms going on, arms exchange, buying and selling of ammunition during election period like this. And like you mentioned at the beginning of the program, talking about sometimes alleged that some APC candidates were shooting sporadically, which unfortunately killed a 14-year-old boy, and some other incidents like that. Now, the use of ammunition during election period, why are we still talking about that till date? Why have we not found a way to curb such? And that's also why we're talking about so much insecurity in the nation.
I just told you that there is this, any government in power at the federal level always attempt to put all the control of the coercive apparatus of the state under him. And they tend to use them wrongly. So the truth of the matter is that you cannot be selling these things. We have a law enforcement agent who's supposed to stop it, arrest people that are doing it, but they're looking at the other way. And the people that are doing it, people that are behind this selling and buying, are our politicians. So if they're the one in the position of authority, and they're the one committing crime. So it's now difficult. Because people that are committing crime are the people in position of authority, not the common man on the road or whatever.
So what should the consequences of the peace deal be? The fallout now. Now, let's assume some parties decide to go against what they have signed. Ordinarily, what should the consequences be?
That's why I've told you, and I want you to get me clearly. Even that peace deal in the first instance, you don't need it. If you attempt to go against the law should be able to pick you up and deal with you.
But now we are not seeing the law.
But we are not seeing the law acting.
Take its
now,
place.
the peace deal now is by far lower than the law. Where the law cannot work, the peace deal cannot work. The law must be the one to work first before peace deal is now going to work. And so, if I know that, if anybody knows that if he kills, he's going to get away with it, there's no amount of peace deal that would stop him. What will stop him is the fear of being arrested, being charged to court, being convicted, and being killed. But the moment he knows that, look, there are people that will ensure that nothing is going to happen to me, he doesn't care. Somebody that does not care about the law will not care about the peace deal. That's just the truth of the matter. If you don't care about the law, you cannot care about the peace deal. Yes.
Looking at the law and election in Nigeria now, let's have a general overview. Because this is a repetition of what we see at every election cycle, either off-cycle or general elections.
Yes.
We see a lot of incidents like this.
Yes.
And it feels like it repeats itself every time.
Yes.
What exactly is the problem?
The problem is desperation for power. Desperation for power. And the question is why? We use power in the country to oppress. We don't use it for the betterment of the people. You know that with power, you can acquire wealth. With power, you can suppress everybody. And it appears that every politician in this country would like to suppress everyone. They want to acquire money, stupendous wealth. So that with that money, we use money in this country to oppress. You want to gather money, I want to gather money. It's not about betterment. I'm not concerned about the common man. We are concerned about, yes, let me be able to acquire the money. So there's a serious struggle to capture power at all costs. I give you an example. The Prime Minister of UK resigned because he was being criticized. Because he was there, he said that I'm trying to do my best for the people. And they said,
I'm not doing enough.
I'm not doing it enough. Let me give chance for somebody. That cannot happen in Nigeria. You find a way of dealing with them, oppressing them. We have a better way. I'll give you a clear example. Look at El-Rufai. El-Rufai was charged for bailable offenses. But as we are talking now, is he out of the prison? He's not. We know how to use power wrongly in this country. You know how to deal with people. That is just the truth of the matter. That is the problem.
Are we also going to say Nigerians or electorates are also joining hands in giving power to these politicians?
The electorate is not the fault of the electorate. Number one, it's not the fault of the electorate. One, we make sure that we don't have an informed electorate. We make sure that we have an electorate that is perpetually under the fear of what am I going to eat. You are thinking about how to survive. So you are not even allowed to balance, to say, no, we must not vote for this one. We must vote for this one. You are looking for what perpetually, the majority are looking for what to eat. Majority are not even ready to come. Because whatever they were, they know the result.
All right. As we wind down on this segment this morning, we are anxiously waiting, looking ahead for what would happen on the 15th of August.
Inshallah.
But what do you think what are we expecting? What should we be expecting?
No, I know
election?
I know it's going to be tough. But I have faith in the Almighty Allah, and I know that man is going to win because it's the choice of the people.
The choice of the people.
Yes, inshallah, Qudratullah is going to win.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Musiba Ajetumbi, a senior advocate of Nigeria, and he is also a legal luminary and one of the counsels to the Accord Party. Has been lending his voice on the issue of Osun Gilba, the pre-election violence and peace deal. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank
All right,
you,
we'll be right back with our next guest after this break. Stay with us.
Thank you, ma.
And this violence naturally are being orchestrated by these politicians. But they use the people, use them against themselves. We are all looking for a better Nigeria, for everything to go on. We use when politicians to perpetrate violence against one another. Where does this leave us as electorates and our mindsets?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that most times innocent people fall victim. There is no typical, an average politician today would recognize that sector. You know, I want to call it a sector or describe them as a different category of people, just like they see them as their own personal force, military force that, you know, the one they say, okay, when it comes to force, they want to use. There is no average politician who doesn't maintain such structure. However, these guys know themselves. They know how to target themselves when it comes to electoral violence. But unfortunately, most times, innocent people always fall victim. And I think this should always call for concern. These guys, these bad guys that I use as, do I call them memory of these politicians, they understood the game. They understood the gimmick. They know they are watching themselves. They're always careful. They're always mindful. They are armed. They are prepared for anything in case the need arises. They are always watchful. However, the innocent Nigerian, maybe just for innocent persons that just want to exercise a franchise, or maybe somebody that just feel, let me go and debusebe, you know, wherever such a person fall, most times fall victim. They're always caught in the web. And it's unfortunate. Yes, when this happens, that's when you see those politicians say, yes, they begin to blame one another. But is that enough to always make up for the lives lost? It's unfortunate that innocent people always fall victim.
Yeah. It's indeed unfortunate. But looking at the incidents in Osun State, we've seen a lot of talking of the violence, and there have been allegations of the opposition party now, or the major opposition party, which is the APC, fueling this violence. Now, how can the people, is it possible for the people to stand up against issues like these, against perpetrators of these violence? Or why are the people holding back? Is it for the fear of safety of their lives? Or, like we talk about, weaponizing poverty, and they've been getting something in return? Could that have been the case also?
Well, it's unfortunate. You just want to blow a whistle about an individual what would you allege? You don't just make false allegation. These guys are also aware that people are mindful, they know them, they recognize them. When it comes to, oh, this is this person, I'm suspecting this person, it goes beyond suspicion, especially when it comes to election season. Even security operatives are always mindful. When just an innocent citizen just write a petition against an individual, by the time, okay, they begin to investigate such a person, politicians know how to politicize it. Say, oh, it is the handwriting of the opposition. It is the handwriting of opposition. But this is what worries me. I was at Ekiti for the election, for the gubernatorial election I had recently.
2000.
2-3 months back, right? If I'm correct. A day to the election, when I got to the town, you wouldn't even know election was coming up. All the bar, the front center, almost everywhere calm. People are just dancing, jubilating. You know, the election had been whatever way. You see, kind of the aura, kind of peaceful everywhere, atmosphere, kind of, you know. On the day of the election, everywhere was peaceful, calm, whatever gimmick, whatever, call it whatever. I'm only saying what I saw. However, this is just months to the Osun election. The tale is different. On a daily basis, the increasing tension. There is increasing tension. And you begin to wonder, what exactly is the interest? Okay, maybe it's in the hand of the opposition and the ruling party want to snatch it. Is that a possibility? Or maybe the opposition party feels that we know what you guys are doing. We're not going to allow you to have it, even if we're going to have it easily. Or we're going to hold on to it.
We've heard all the scenarios you're painting, we've heard it as a possibility. But why is that so? Why can we not just wait for power to get to whoever the people rightfully want to elect?
Just because you are not interested in anything violent. The people who are there, they know that the moment power shifts, they know what they are losing. Political relevance, economically, financially, in a lot of things. People who are benefiting from a particular system would not want to leave it, let it go. People who have tasted it, and they know what they are missing, what they are losing out, by not being there again, they know what it means to reclaim it. So it's between those who have tasted and those who are tasting, or those who are having it. If it's just about service to humanity, if it's just about a service to the people, for the betterment of the people, we shouldn't be talking about violence. We shouldn't be talking about crisis.
So are we saying this violence, most of these politicians we see, not really going for these positions because they want to serve the people?
Beyond the politicians, the people surrounding the politicians. A politician can the blood of any innocent Nigerian. And I'm sure somebody behind the scene will be ready on him. Don't you know what it means to be in power? You want to have somebody in power, you want to say, oh, this governor is my brother, is my sister, is my... You also want to enjoy the aura of, okay, that relationship. So unfortunately, beyond the politicians, even a politician thing, but the people around them, the people they are running with, the people who are enjoying it, even using their name, even for economic purpose, for economic benefit, these are some of the persons. A politician can say, okay, guys, relax, calm down, we don't want violence. But what if those guys feel, no, it's an opportunity for us, we want to avenge something that happened 4 or 5 years ago, is an opportunity for us to perpetrate crimes and cover it up all in the name of politics. That's some of the things these guys do. So it's unfortunate. We need a kind of change in orientation. Politicians need to emphasize this more. But when they see the body language of their principal, and he knows that, and he keeps telling them, hey guys, we know we don't want to hijack it by force. If they hijack it, you know what you are going to miss. Oh, if you lose power, you know you are going to go hungry. The mindset is a certain set of people, when maybe their party or their people, they are not in power, they call it season of hunger. So this kind of people, they would not let go. They would not want to and people who have tasted it, like I said earlier, they know the kind of lifestyle they lived. They are loud, they are noisy when they are in government, oh, we are the one reigning, and they want to go back to it because they've tasted it.
It feels like our orientation in Nigeria, or for Nigerians now, it's just different. Now, we hear things like when an average Nigerian is given an opportunity, they would also do the same. For those who have been criticizing those in power, why is this so? Is it because we are not structured well? Is it because our economy is just not going well? Is it because we are not giving a lot of Nigerians enough opportunity and power is just concentrated with a particular set of people?
No, I think with the coming of the current political dispensation, it has always been like that. When you look at it historically, they call them political thugs. They engage them right from time. It has always been part of our narrative, a part of our history. And look at the period of Baba Olowo, they will tell you there's some people they describe our political talks and their nuisance value is always there. However, the coming of this current political administration, dispensation 1999, you see that class of people, they've created it as a window that, okay, this is a sector that we need to recognize, we need to nurture. Almost all political parties have interest. Okay, there was a time they were using these transport workers. And you discover that amidst them, these transport workers, they belong to different groups. Oh, this person belongs to this party. This person belongs. Go and trace it. It goes down to this transport union workers or this group. If this person is in power, they know they are the ones in power. Let them enjoy it. Let's leave it. When another person comes, this is our time. So every time, the rivalry also escalates to the point that they know that when they are in power, they can do and undo. It is their reign. They know they are the ones in charge of the parks. They know they are the ones in charge of whatever. And they know what it means economically and financially for them. So it's beyond poverty. I don't think poverty will push you to the point of ready to risk your life and sacrifices on the altar of, for my principal. I think it's more of greed and self-fulfillment. And I think it's also more of power, taste for power. Yes, though they are not the governor, they are not the principal, but in their own level, in their own space, they are the governor. We've had transport leaders all across that, even Lagos State, that because the party they are supporting is in power, they also call them governors. It happens all across. Thank God that the administration that introduced the issue of our PMS in Oyo State, and that downplayed it. But it still does not neutralize the fact that, okay, you see one interest or the other amongst them belonging to this party, belonging to. So in the case of Osun too, you won't rule this out.
Let's look at the issue of the law enforcement now. We saw what happened, played out with the Commissioner of Police, that's Ibrahim Gotan, and he was eventually excused to take over to oversee non-election activities, while Samuel Erale Taifo was posted to the states to oversee the election and everything, to talk about electoral activities in the states. Now, looking at all that played out with the election, and of course the people of the state are coming out to say, we do not have no vote of confidence on the security apparatus currently. Now, when we have security agencies putting themselves in between electoral issues, defending parties, or you can clearly say that this person is taking the sides of a political party, where does that leave the issue of the security body as a whole in Nigeria?
The states that are clamoring for state police, and they feel that because they are not in charge of state police, police is being influenced by the power at the central, and because of the party, it is the first level of disloyalty that will feel that they will accuse the CP of, yes, we don't believe, we don't trust you, just because feel that it's coming from Abuja. However, let's look at it as laymen, as just commoners. And after the SSG was arrested, what did the police discover? What? Ordinarily, even as a Nigerian, when you hear some of the things they reported, a printer, about 4-point-something million, voters register, arrested one guy who was being on their wanted list, and petty things. You just shake your head and say, oh, just because of that, you had to detain an SSG and say 4.8 million naira for electoral purpose, pre-election period. You expect an SSG not to have that kind of money in the house? When people who are not even that politically powerful, they have more money. For whatever reason, police could not establish that money was actually linked to anything that has to do with the election. If you say vote buying, voting has not started. How would you accuse somebody that the money was? So when you look at all of this trajectory, it doesn't matter the report, it doesn't matter what he has been doing before now. That singular act is enough to tell people that, no, this is bias. And that nailed it.
There's been a lot of allegations on the major opposition party, that's the APC now, and talks about fueling the crisis, the violence, unrest we are seeing in Osun State. Now, and this is to talk about political parties in Nigeria. How can we make sure, how can we ensure that politicians or political parties, stay on their mandates, not intimidating other political parties because they themselves feel intimidated?
How can we ensure? Maybe we need a new generation of politicians who would see it like that. Politics has always been historically game of gimmicks. You outsmart the other person. You look for ways to beat the person just to make sure we are contesting for the same thing. I'm on the ballot, you're on the ballot. I want 1, 2, 3, 4 persons to vote for me. They are good to me, they are good to you, the same people. I need to do more to make sure that they do my own bidding. You know, politically it has always been like that. We need the politicians. We need them to get to the point of seeing that, oh, it does not necessarily mean I'm the only one that can do it. The tension, the rivalry, you know, the pressure with which the opposition party, the main opposition party, is pursuing this agenda. Oh, God. It's just obvious. I was in a conversation with a colleague while in Ekiti, and we're just trying to estray it. The election had not come out. What's this tension? That was about 2-3 months back. And the colleague was telling me, was sharing it, he said, this party, if you know what they are doing, the kind of armory they are building, it's a reporter that was there. The kind of this thing, if you know what we are hearing, if you know what they are, the kind of things.
What's the essence of the whole force? What's the force about?
Suppression, military power to harass. You cannot harass us. We are ready for this, we are ready for that, making sure that life for life, blood for blood, whatever. It's just because I just want this thing, this power. The man on the seat knows what it means to be there. The man who is coming knows his party had always what it means to be there.
We seem to know how to fight for power a lot in Nigeria.
But not for governance.
Yes, and that's why we have a lot of crises in our political parties. That's why we talk about violence, especially when election periods, either off-cycle or general elections. We talk about violence a lot. We talk about arms and ammunition being exchanged a lot. Now, since we know how to hold or fight for power a lot, it seems we do not know how to really use this power.
It's quite painful that if only politicians who pursue administration, governance, with the same dexterity, the same passion with which they pursue the power, we won't be here. No state will be wherever it is within 4 years. Ask the current administration. You'll be able to highlight, we have done this, we have done this, we have done this, we have done this. Now, but add the ambition, the passion, the commitment,